Hey, what is going on guys, it's Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the best build for Gandalf in Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyway, let's get straight into it. So before we get into the video, I just want to do a quick disclaimer to say that all these videos, these commander build guides, I'm assuming that you have your commander at level 50 and respect 5. The reason why I say this is so that you have 50 skill points from the level, you have 5 respect points from his respect level, and you have all your commander's skills unlocked. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. Okay guys, so first things first, we're gonna look at his army. So if I go to hold on, if I go to Gandalf over here, you'll see that I haven't actually given him an army. That's just because I'm not using him at the moment. He is at level 50, but I swapped him out for some other commanders. But when I was using him, the army I was using was 1750 March Wardens and 4000 Guardians. So I was using this army right here. If I can get the amounts right, come on, so hard to move the slider and get it completely correct. There we go. So this is the army I was using: 4000 4000 Guardians and 1750 March Wardens. And this is because Gandalf, the build that I will give you skill wise, is very army focused. So therefore you want a good army that will deal a lot of damage and give the pain to the enemy. So yeah, this is the army that I use personally. You guys can obviously use whatever army you feel is best, whether it's mounted, range, melee, whatever. So yeah, army is basically up to you guys, but that is the army I use because Guardians are a good meat shield and March Wardens are a really good damage dealer, especially since they're Lothlorians tier 4s. Anyway, next let's go and have a look at his gear. So right now my gear situation not exactly great on him. I don't really have any gear on him, but basically what you're going to want to do is his gear in general, you're going to want to focus on focus based gear, and this is because a lot of his skills rely on his focus stats. So the gear I do have here, as you can see, it gives him focus and attack for range, which is nice. And even this Haradrim scarf I gave him, which is a blue, it gives might and it gives focus. So you're going to want to definitely focus on focus based gear. For example, you could use Wizard's Fireworks if you want, or if you don't have this, you could also go for a smoking pipe, because this gives a lot of focus. For the helmet, you should go for something that gives a lot of focus, something like either the Arno case, which gives a decent amount of focus, or any other gear that gives focus. For the chest, like you can give something like the quilted armor with attunement, because that gives a lot of bonus focus as well. And for the weapon, something that is focus based. Basically, Gandalf the Great, no matter what gear you're using, whether it's blue, purple or legendary, you're gonna want to try to up his focus stat as far as he can go. Like right now his focus is 320 with just 2 pieces of gear on him. So yeah, that's what you're gonna want to do gear wise. Reason I don't have gear is because I kind of dumped all my gear into my Eowyn now. So yeah, my Eowyn, my Gimli and my Arwen have gear. My commanders, I stripped them of all their gear. Anyway, let's get into his skill build next. So for my Gandalf, I have 58 skill points, and that's because I do not have him at R5, I have him at R3. So at R5 you will have 60 skill points, and the build I'm going to give you, like, okay, obviously I personally can't use it because I don't have his final skills unlocked, but I have given them to people in my fellowship who have used them and who have sent me the reports and show me that it does work pretty well. So this is the best skill build for Gimli in my opinion in regards to army. So the skill build I'm going to give you focuses a lot on his army. So the first thing you're going to do is max out Mithrandir. So maxed out Mithrandir, first 4 rounds against all enemies, damage minus 11%, and effect is modified by focus stat. So what this does is it reduces the amount of damage the enemy units can deal to you, and that reduction is 11% damage reduced, and that effect is modified by focus. So the higher your focus stat, if you have 400-500 focus, that is going to make the enemy units do a whole lot less damage. The max level is 3 allied units avoid the first instance of damage in battle, which is not really that great, but it's helpful. You avoid 1 instance of damage on each of your units, so that's pretty cool. As for wizard, so this is going to be the next thing you max out. You're going to max out your wizard, put 15 points into this. On round 1, it against 2 enemy target, it inflicts stun. So on round 1, against 2 enemy targets, against 2 enemy units, so if they have 3 units, 2 of those units will be stunned on the first round, and the defense is minus 50 for 3 rounds. So if they have 100 defense, the defense will now be only 50 because other 50 will be reduced because of the wizard skill. Max Overload just gives you some extra focus. And yeah, that's going to be the second thing, so that'll be 30 skill points. Your next 15 skill points will go into White Council. I don't have it unlocked, but for all you guys who are watching this video that I'm assuming have R5, you're going to want to get White Council. So at max level, it will be all allied units. First 3 instances are damage received minus 1.2, well that's at level 1, but obviously at level 15 it'll be damage received minus so and so, and the effect is modified by your focus stat again. So as you can see, this is why I was saying the gear you get on Gandalf must be very focus based, and that's because all his skills rely a lot on his focus stats. So this is going to be the third thing you max on. This is White Council, so that's going to be 45 skill points spent, 15 on Mithrandir, 15 on Wizard, and 15 on White Council. So that's 45 skill points spent. You still have another 15, or is it 15? Yeah, it's 15. So with your last 15, what are you going to do? You're going to put 7 into Convener, and the reason for this is first 2 rounds all allied units gain initiative and 75% chance to attack twice each round. So basically you're pretty much going to get 2 attacks out of all of your units for the first 2 rounds, which deals a lot of early damage. So remember, like those first 2, 3, 4 rounds, you're basically going to be taking a lot of reduced damage from the enemies. Enemy units are going to be stunned, they're going to be dealing a lot less damage, and your own units are going to be able to attack twice. So you're going to put 7 points into Convener and 7 points into Pipeweed Connoisseur. And the reason for this is it increases your focus stat by 14%. So yeah, that's pretty great. So if you have, you get your focus stat to 400 for example with your gear and stuff, and now you max out Pipewood Connoisseur, and that's gonna up your focus by another 14%, which is what you need, because that's gonna help you a lot. It's gonna increase his focus, make his focus that much higher, which will increase these skills, make these skills like Mithrandir and White Council that much more effective. So that's gonna be 59 points. You should have 1 skill point left. And well, you can put it in wherever you want. If you want, you can put it into the gray. It'll give you 50% chance of recovering like a very little bit amount of HP, but whatever. Or you can put it into Surge, or Free Peoples, which will reduce your damage received by men, elves, dwarves, and hobbits by 2%. So that's up to you. You'll have 1 skill point. You guys can put it wherever you want. If you are versing evil factions though, I've mainly been fighting good faction, but if you are versing evil factions, stuff you should take a look at is High Alert and Champion of the Light. The reason for this is you may want to go Champion of the Light instead of maybe Wizard and Pipeweed Connoisseur. It's up to you how you want to change this build around, but Champion of the Light does do damage to orcs, Uruk-hai, and trolls plus 4% at base, which will obviously increase once you have it at 7 out of 7, and it affects all your allied units. So if you're fighting evil factions, Champion of the Light will just increase all your units damage to orcs, Uruk-hai, and trolls, and so that's pretty helpful. And High Alert will cause all your units to receive less focus, burn, and poison damage. The reason this is pretty helpful is because a lot of evil faction units do burn damage, so having reduced burn damage is pretty nice. So yeah, anyway, let's just do a quick overview. So as I said, I'm not going to go back and show you because I don't actually have the army. So as I said, you're going to want to get a pretty good army. I personally run 4,000 Guardians and 1,750 March Warriors. That's meat shield. Then for gear, you're going to want to focus on gear that ups his focus stats. So gear that is focus stat orientated is good. Effects, that's obviously up to you. You can go for whatever helps you out, whether it's stun immunity or madness immunity or madness infliction or something against the enemy. That's up to you. But for gear, you're gonna want to try to get gear that increases his focus stat. Then for skills, you're gonna want to go for Mithrandir maxed out, Wizard maxed out, White Council maxed out, Convener maxed out, and Pipeweed Connoisseur maxed out. Though if you are fighting evil factions, then you can swap some stuff out and maybe get High Alert if you need it, or Champion of the Light, just depending on what you're fighting. The reason why I personally would not use High Alert and Champion of the Light is because for the whole of season 1 and 2, I've basically only been fighting good factions. Even though I played Lothlorien both times, we've always been at war with either Erebor or Rohan or Gondor. So yeah, we've been fighting a lot of good factions, or Arnor as well. Angmar and stuff tend to have been our allies, so therefore, you know, getting stuff that is good against evil factions didn't really help me out. But yeah, if you do want to do a build though, guys, that's not army based, which I feel is the best type of build for Gandalf, you could go for something like the Grey and then go for fleeting movements or blindside, because blindside is a Gandalf focus damage skill, and then wizard and Sarge, but he only has like 2 attack stats, so that's why I didn't mention it earlier. You should just focus on buffing your army. Anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I kind of did ramble on a little bit more than I normally do, but Gandalf was a pretty interesting commander because his skills are all army buffs, and they all regard like damage reduction or causing enemy units to deal less damage or for you to take less damage, etc. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you guys want me to do any other commanders, you know, I'll just show you all the commanders I have, and let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll definitely get around to doing it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.